come down, 2-mile route, have fun, be a part of something, bigger than yourself. So we're excited for that because we think that now actually gives a lot of people opportunities to connect with what we're doing and get involved.
Welcome. This is the Hot Real Estate Investing Podcast, a podcast dedicated to helping others through real estate investing. Our hosts interview guests from all aspects of real estate investing who generously share valuable experiences and advice. Whether you're starting out or an experienced investor, this is the show for you.
Hello and how's it going? My name is Travis Shelton and welcome to the Hot Real Estate Investing Podcast, where I interview guests who want to help others investing in real estate. We keep these fun and full of value and really excited for our conversation today. It's a very special conversation about the focus of my business in this podcast, and it's how do you help others through real estate investing? But specifically, people always ask, well, how is that tangibly helping somebody else? And so today, I'm very blessed to be able to be joined by Nate Hughes, husband to Emily, father to Titus, Drexler, Mila, and fundraiser by day and soccer podcaster by night. Nate, thanks for joining me today, buddy.
Yeah, Travis, this is awesome. I'm so thankful. It's fun to be on this side of the mic.
Yeah, it's always a little bit different being the host or being the participant for sure, huh?
Yeah.
Well, we know each other for a couple years and, but can you give our audience maybe a little bit more about yourself, a 30-second elevator pitch, and maybe a little bit more about One Mission?
Yeah. So, as you said, I'm a husband and father of three. We have three kids between the ages of 11 and 6. So it's a very busy and fun season of life. That is where most of my energy goes. I work for One Mission. I've been a part of this team for 10 years. Love promoting what we do, connecting people to what we do, and trying to get people to have a greater heart for the poor and the marginalized. And so, I love spending time with my family. I love the time we get with them. But when I'm not doing that, I love talking about poverty and poverty alleviation and community development, and all that. So
I love it, man. And we always start these podcasts off with some motivation, but there's no better motivation in the world than helping someone else, in my personal opinion. But would you like to share your motivational quote you with the audience today?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the motivational quote is kind of the way I try and live my life and goes right into even what you're saying with helping and serving others. And that is to love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself. And so obviously, like, having a love for God and understanding his love for me, which then allows me to love others and, as best I can, treat them as God has treated me, with generosity and love and grace and compassion. So that goes with my family, my friends, but then my neighbors and strangers I meet, so.
For sure.
Yeah.
I was raised and, with the golden rule, right? Treat people how you want to be treated. And sometimes it's that simple, but also it's that difficult, right? But I love that quote, and I really appreciate you sharing that with the audience today. So maybe transitioning into our main topic, how can you help our audience of real estate investors? Like, what is One Mission all about? And then more specifically, maybe we can dive into the house-to-house program, but maybe we can just start off with a little bit more about One Mission and kind of your involvement with the organization.
Yeah, thanks. So One Mission, at our core, we're a community development organization. So now I recognize that when I say that to real estate agents, community development means something probably completely different than what we mean. So we're not building master plan communities in impoverished communities around the world. Community development, what we talk about, is seeing communities, people, humans working together to develop deeper relationships, to develop skills, to develop and share assets and strengths that then can help lift a community out of poverty. And so the way we do that primarily is through housing. And that's why we're talking, right? Is every family that we work with gets a house. But before they get the house, they have to serve a minimum of 400 hours in their community doing community development work. So that could be anything from community gardens to learning how to sew to going back to school and getting like a GED, or we have some children reading programs where we're trying to help kids get to their appropriate or exceed their appropriate reading level. Anything that helps nurture the person and the community at the same time are ways families can earn their hours. And we're a community-led organization, so it's the communities themselves. We're in Mexico, El Salvador, and Nicaragua, and they're the ones who are creating these initiatives. So we're not sitting in our offices here in Phoenix dreaming up of ways for these communities to help themselves. They're doing it. They're the ones who are the change makers, and that's really critical to genuine community development and poverty alleviation, is that they're the owners of the challenges and problems they have and the solutions for those problems. So
much to unpack there, but so great, man. I mean, it's like you a couple key things, like it's genuine, right? Like you want these communities to build themselves, right? You're helping them help themselves. And then on the other side, it's like the individuals don't just get gifted a house, right? They earn it. They're helping others and helping themselves and helping their communities to ultimately earn these homes. So there's so much pride. And when I've personally gone and helped build a home, one of the greatest feelings I've ever felt, but also one of the saddest feelings I'd ever felt was like, we finished building the home and this family had nothing, right? Like we're out there building a home and they're out there cooking beans and rice and tortillas for the entire 30 to 50 of us that are out there building the home. And we're like, no, we're okay. They're like, no, you guys helped change our lives forever. This is the least we can do. And it's like, it's just such an amazing atmosphere to be down there and help these individuals, but also know that they're helping the next family build their house and the next family build their house. And it's really an amazing, when you engulf yourself down there, it's an amazing experience. And I know we can't get everyone to experience that, but since I've been able to personally get to experience it, it's just a fantastic opportunity for anyone to be able to get down there.
Totally. I mean, it's life-changing to see the poverty they're living in, right? One, and just to recognize like that's, 4 hours away from us. So close here in Phoenix, right? So
for sure. So talk to me a little bit more, right? Most of our audience are real estate investors or people that are doing real estate investing, and not everyone's after just the almighty dollar, right? Some people want to give back. So what are some opportunities that entrepreneurs and realtors or real estate investors can give back and maybe help One Mission?
Yeah, so One Mission has a program where we partner with people in the real estate industry called House to House. The basic idea is we're helping people get into homes, you're helping people get into homes. Let's marry those two together to make a bigger impact. So people who are part of the House to House program essentially are making donations to fund houses for people living in poverty. But the idea is, and we have people who are really maximizing the marketability of that, and some who are just doing it without marketing. Either way, obviously, it depends on kind of your goals and what you want from your business. But the idea would be, and the way I would use it if I were a real estate agent would be to tell my clients, hey, this is such a powerful moment for you to be buying a house, and it's an important and big decision. And a part of you buying this house is that I'm going to be making a donation to a family who lives in poverty for them to get a house, and kind of marrying those two together. We also, we always tie donations directly to families' homes. Yeah. And you get a proof report that once the family's house has been finished, which I also think is an amazing way to follow up with your clients. 6 months down the road, a year down the road, once that house is finished, you can then get that proof report sent to you. You can forward that on to your client and say, hey, remember I said I was going to, make a donation on your behalf. Well, here's this family's house, right? And so that's the house-to-house program.
I mean, it's such a cool thing, and I'm a part of it, so I don't do a lot of real estate transactions because it's not my full-time job, but anytime I do make a sell, I love that tangibility that I donated, and so often your money goes and you have no idea where it goes to, but I love being able to track that, no, this went to this specific family, and I know that money was put to good use. It's really a great way to donate, to get involved. And like you said, these people that I've donated to, they're really, appreciative that I'm not just taking the money and going and doing some, gambling with it or doing something else, but like I'm literally taking some of my commission and helping someone else with that commission in that individual's name or family's name. And it's really a great way to give back. And it's also just a great way to build that relationship with your clients and future clients, so I couldn't agree more. And I highly recommend any realtors out there and anyone else doing real estate. If you're looking for a great organization, check out the house-to-house program. You can check it out. We'll include all the show notes, but at onemission.org. But I'll include all that information in our show notes. So Nate, how can other people, like, let's say if you're not a realtor, how can people get involved with One Mission or potentially help, the cause of what you guys are doing?
Yeah, there's kind of three primary ways to get involved. The one that's starting really actually this weekend is we're starting our build trip season. So like you said, you've been down on a build trip. We do builds really from the end of September through early June. So almost every weekend we have teams coming down to build. You could create your own team, bring a team down of family and friends, or, if you have a business or something, you can do that. Or if you just want to come down by yourself, we can put you on a team that's already down there. So that's one of the kind of easy ways to get involved. The other one, we have a gala coming up at the end of October. That is a little bigger commitment. We sell tables for $9,000 because that's how much it costs to fund a house. So when you buy a table at our gala, you fund an entire house for a family. And so certainly if there's someone out there wanting to get involved, you can do that. We also still have some sponsorships available. So if you did want to get your brand out there in front of a couple hundred people, you can do that as well. And those sponsorships go anywhere from $2,500 to $25,000. So the gala, and then we're really excited to announce we've done 14 years in a row a bike ride from Phoenix down to Mexico, or slight variations of that. But this year, our 15th year, we're actually moving the ride locally. And so in March, so the beginning of March, we're going to have a ride, a 100-mile ride, March 2nd.
Century. All right.
Yep. It's going to go from Buckeye down to Gila Bend and back. But we've also added a 2.07 mile Fiesta ride. So family friendly, ride a longboard, ride a bike, ride a tricycle, ride a unicycle, whatever you want, dress up, come down, 2-mile route, have fun, be a part of something, bigger than yourself. So we're excited for that because we think that now actually gives a lot of people opportunities to connect with what we're doing and get involved.
No, that's fantastic. And I've always seen the Bikes of Poverty. I've done a century once in my life, but haven't done it for you guys. But I do think I remember seeing that maybe last year was your first year you did the bike ride. Is that right?
I did. Okay. Yeah, I did it. We shortened it. That made it different. So we did border to beach. We left from Sonoita across the Arizona-Mexico border and rode down to Las Palomas beach resort. And so that was 60 miles, which was great. I actually I got 2 flats, which was brutal. First one I fixed. The second one was like a mile away. And I was like, I was so mad. And I'm like, I'm done. Just So I had like our SAG vehicle drive me to like 30 yards away, and then I rode my flat. So I'm like, I want to ride across the finish line, but I'll just ride the bike with a flat across the finish line. So
Oh, I love it. No, that's awesome. Yeah. So are you going to participate, obviously in March? So you're going to do the whole century?
not this year. I gotta be a part of more of the organizing this year. So
Gotcha. Cool. Well, I've asked you a lot of questions about One Mission, but anything I haven't missed or something you'd like to highlight about the organization? It's just such a great cause. I definitely wanted to share this with the world and my audience for sure.
Yeah, no, I think we've covered it. I mean, I can talk for hours about it, but I think the bases are covered, and obviously the website you've mentioned, onemission.org, or if people want to email me directly, nate@onemission.org. If they have questions about any of the ways to get involved, I'd be the best person.
Okay.
What is up, Hot REI Nation? My name is Jordan Nadella with Simplicity Lending Group and powered by Nexa Mortgage. As the nation's largest broker, Nexa Mortgage offers a variety of creative and competitive loan options through our 170 plus partnerships to help you achieve homeownership with the speed and service that you deserve. Whether you are a first-time homebuyer or an experienced investor, I'm dedicated to finding the right program to fit your financial goal. My mission is to make home ownership a very easy and seamless process from start to finish. If you are in the market today to purchase real estate, please contact me to find the best mortgage solution for your needs.
Perfect. And I guess maybe just I'll announce it now, but we've been talking on the podcast a little bit about the Breakthrough Real Estate Investors Conference we're having October 21st, and with Freedom and the Hot REI communities, one of their biggest things is giving back. We give back education through this podcast and through our meetups, but we're really excited to be able to work with One Mission, and we're really excited to try. Our goal is to fundraise one house through donations, through our own donations, and also we're going to donate portion of the revenue that we receive through the Breakthrough Real Estate Investors Conference to One Mission, with our ultimate goal. Again, we want $9,000 to be able to fund at least one house. There's nothing better we could do than working this whole year to have this amazing conference and to be able to give one house back to a very deserving family. So I'll announce that today, and really looking forward to you joining us that day, Nate, for the Breakthrough Real Estate Investors Conference. And hopefully we'll raise 9,000 or maybe 18,000. Who knows? Maybe we'll raise two houses on that day. Why not, right? But really appreciate your time on the podcast. But now it's time. Are you ready for the hot seat?
I am. I'm ready.
Nate, we ask all our guests the same final four hot questions. So number one, what is one book you'd recommend to someone wanting to know more about real estate investing, or just maybe real estate in general?
Well, I don't think I've read one book about real estate. So I think probably, so I'll keep it within like the world of what I do. Okay. And it's a book called When Helping Hurts. And it's about how to do charity in a way that builds up communities, doesn't actually harm them. And so the whole kind of the premise is, a lot of times we think just giving handouts and or even like the mentality, kind of white savior syndrome, or this kind of like, I think inflated view of who we are as Americans and our role in the world. This book really walks through like, how can you invest in a community, still do good without doing harm? So it's a remarkable book, really changed the way I view charity and help. And it's not just for international community. It could be just the way you view the guy on the street asking for money, right? And how do you help him or her without damaging them? So great book.
Yeah. Powerful. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to check that out, because I try to be good giver and supporter of great organizations, but I'm sure there's ways I could probably present myself better, or maybe not hurt, that organization or community or individual that I'm supporting. So I'll definitely check that out. What's your favorite productivity tip, trick, tool, maybe a time saver or app that allows you to get more done than the average person?
Yeah, I think I just think like working out, being healthy. It's not a tip or a trick. I mean, it's just like advice. I think especially I'm in my mid 40s, had kids, I guess maybe a little later, I was in my mid 30s when my first son was born. And I just kind of realized like, I'm probably still okay right now, but if I don't start working out and getting healthy, by the time they're the ages they are now, I'm going to be hosed. Like I'm not going to be able to keep up with them and be engaged with their life. And so I just started working out a little bit, like not even a lot, but I try and do 20 to 45 minutes a day. Sometimes it's like lifting. Sometimes we have a Peloton, so I do a lot of bike riding. Sometimes it's just like a quick yoga, but just something every day to try and keep my body healthy. And I think that like, if we want longevity, you know, whether it's with our friends and family or in the marketplace or to be able to, you know, kind of work and do the things we want to do, our body is like one of our primary assets to be able to accomplish that. So I just think getting healthy, and I like it because I get to kind of still eat what I want. Like I do think eating healthy is good too, but I also get to enjoy life and the good things that life has to offer. So
exactly. Work hard and play hard. And that's something I got 3 little ones too, a little bit younger than yours. And that's what I realized myself. I was like, I got to get in better shape because I'm chasing these kids around everywhere. I got a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 9-month-year-old. So I am busy and constantly chasing these little kids around.
And it doesn't get easier. Like I have to wake up at 5 every morning if I want to work out. Like I got to work out because I don't know, my personality, I'm not going to do it later in the day. Like I got to do it first thing. And then once everyone's up, then I can be game on. But if I don't do it first thing in the morning, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. The day beats you, unfortunately. Yeah. So Nate, what's your biggest real estate mistake or failure, and what did you learn from that experience?
Yeah, so I'd asked you if I could share it from like the buyer side, because I think that maybe will give your community, I don't know, a different point of view on it. But we've only owned one home. We bought one home. We've been in it for I guess 11 years now. So we love it. It's a great house. We've done some renovations, which that's probably actually a bigger mistake and failure. But the one I was thinking about that stood out to me that I always tell people is when we did our walkthrough, somehow it got missed in inspection and everything. But one of the bathroom like bathtubs didn't drain very well. And so, and we basically didn't even use this shower for years. We just finally renovated it in this last year. So now like our kids have always showered and bathed in our bathroom. You know, and we hosted guests and sometimes they would shower in there, but it would just like fill up. And that was from day one. And so my like tip is like, if I'm going to buy a house, if I ever buy a house again, I'm turning the water on every freaking sink and anywhere I go, and I'm going to let it run for a while, because it was it was like this P-trap issue, and it could only be repaired by like saw cutting out the concrete and like getting deep in there. So, it wasn't, I bet even in inspection, maybe they didn't even let it run long.
They probably didn't run it long enough to see it back up. Yeah. They usually turn on the faucets, but if it's something that takes a long time, it's tough to catch.
So my deal is I'm just going to turn on the water in all the rooms and then come back to that room and see if it's draining or not.
That's a good one. That's a great one it's even good for realtors to go and like help do some of these inspections, because it's simple stuff like that sometimes that you can catch a major issue. So that's definitely a mistake that you'll never run into again, and hopefully none of our audience will run into either when they purchase a home.
That's right.
And then finally, Nate, if you could be remembered for one thing, what would it be?
I think if I just, you know, if it's at my funeral or whatever, and people are just talking about me, the thing I would love for people to just say over and over is that they felt like loved, like that when they were around me, that they felt loved, they felt valued, they felt just general, like good, you know, that when they saw me, they knew that I was someone who cared about them and cared about what they cared about and was invested in their lives. So obviously starting with my wife and kids, kind of most importantly, that would be what they would say. But then even strangers or acquaintances, colleagues, that would be what they would say.
No, that's, I'm sure you're well on your way. I know every time I see you, I get a big smile because you have this warm sense about you. You're always very gracious when you greet people and everything like that. And the work that you do just exudes, the type of person you are. And I'm always appreciative when we're together, buddy. So the best place for the Hot REI community to connect with Nate or One Mission is going to be at onemission.org and or One Mission org on all social media accounts. We'll include all that Nate's contact information and everything about One Mission in our show notes. If you guys are interested in donating to One Mission, please do so. Please consider, if you're a realtor, joining the House to House program. If you like to bike, the Bike to Poverty is an amazing opportunity. And I've been to the gala before as well, and that's a really good opportunity to kind of see how your money gets put to work. And it's a really great opportunity to meet a lot of people that are also raising money for One Mission, and you can kind of see what One Mission is all about. And like Nate said, that's the last weekend of October. Nate, dude, thank you so much today for joining me. I know you're a busy guy, but I really appreciate you taking the time to be on the podcast today.
Yeah, Travis, this is awesome, man. Thanks. I love it. I love podcasts, so I'm always happy to help when I can.
Absolutely. And to the audience, thank you for tuning in today, and commit to taking action today to move your investing forward. Take care, and God bless.
Thank you for listening to the Hot Real Estate Investing Podcast. Check out our website, hotrei.com, for additional content and resources. And please take a moment to subscribe and leave a review so we can continue to bring even more value to others through real estate investing.